Today we're going to be working on our Lichtenstein onomatopoeia art. We're going to begin by writing your chosen onomatopoeia word in all capital letters, and we're going to trace around it to create some thick block letters. We really want to make sure that each letter is touching the other letters and that the letters are nice and thick. So take your time. You could create block letters or bubble letters, which are similar, but all of the edges are rounded. Next, we're going to trace around the outside line. Please make sure you don't trace around your original letter line. That inside skeleton is going to be erased next. For tracing, you could use Sharpie or a Crayola marker, which is nice and thick. Next up, we're going to draw a shape to hold all of our letters in. So it could be a soft and curvy shape, it could be a bubbly shape, it could be a spiky shape. But draw a shape in your black marker around the letters and then begin filling in all of the space inside that shape black, leaving the letters white. After that, you can color your onomatopoeia block art word. So you could use crayons, you could use markers, colored pencils. I'm using crayons because I want to transition from a yellow to a yellow orange to a red orange. I ended up going back over them to make them darker and brighter. Then our next step after that is going to be to cut out our word art. I decided I was going to cut a little bit closer to my letters, and so I'm cutting off some of that black bubble from my first step. Once the word is cut out, we can begin planning our different layers. In this splash example, you can see that there are 4 layers behind the word splash, each of them different colors and different shapes. So using our primary color paper, we can begin to think about what our first layer is going to be. For my yellow layer, I'm going to leave the word wham in place, and using a pencil, I'm going to kind of start sketching a spiky call out shape. And I'm keeping the word there so that way I can kind of plan what I want to see with the spiky design. So you just kind of lightly sketch triangle shapes around the word. And again, each of your layers can be different. It doesn't have to be the same as this example. That's the fun part about our art. We can make it unique and different. So I'm just kind of figuring out what I want that one edge to look like. And then when I take the word away, I can kind of complete the shape. So I'll be ready to outline it and cut it out next. I decided that I wanted to add another element, which is a pattern. A popular thing in Roy Lichtenstein's artwork, which is also in comic books where he kind of based his artwork from, is these Band-Aid dots. And so I'm going to add these Band-Aid dots, and notice I'm keeping the word wham in place so that way it saves time. I'm only doing dots in the yellow shape where I would see them, and I don't have to do them all over the entire shape. All right, my first layer is done. So now I can start thinking about what I want to do for the next layer. So I just did yellow, spiky layer. The next layer should be a very different type of shape. So again, I'm kind of putting things in place, and notice nothing is glued yet. I'm just kind of holding them in place. And for my next shape, I'm going to do something different than the spikes. I'm going to do a cloud shape. I could leave my cloud plain or I could add a pattern to it. So similar to what we did with those Band-Aid dots, I'm doing this like pattern wheel, almost like a pinwheel design. So I drew lines coming up from the center and I'm coloring every other stripe blue. So I'm going to start layering them together, see how they look, and now starting to think about what the next layer is going to be. I haven't used red yet, and notice there's not a lot of room on the edge for a design. So I'm going to use some white paper, and I'm going to cut out some triangle-y spikes to glue over these layers, just to kind of add more emphasis. Carefully glue all the layers together, making sure that nothing is going to stick up or be tempted to peel or curl off. I'm going to glue on those extra pieces, and note I'm having them hang off the edge a little bit, which I think is a fun detail. In the end, I decided I wanted to spread them out just a little bit, so I'm carefully moving them over. And once those are in place, I think my Royal Lichtenstein pop art onomatopoeia is now complete. We have different layers, we have our onomatopoeia word, nice and bold, and we have all of this cool details behind it.